Hi everyone. So in this video I wanted to talk about a few things. So ever since Sharon has been gone, you guys have probably noticed I've been a little off lately. And that has to do with I don't deal with changes that well. I am so used to a routine, and now that I don't have that routine, I am a little lost. Can't seem to function much. This past few weeks has been horrible. My anxiety has been through the roof. I haven't been able to think straight. Oh. There has just been a whole lot going on with me. So the first thing that happened with me is that she's been gone. I started having a lot of panic attacks, and you can tell on some of my videos that I may not be talking or thinking clearly, or things may come out differently because of, and that is because I've been having a lot of anxiety issues, and I've just been so off. This past week, I missed sending in my housing paper, which needed to be in on the 15th, and I didn't realize it until after. Okay. I read the paperwork again, and I thought it was supposed to be July because I read July at first, but that's when the inspection's gonna be. So technically I messed up. So Friday, I went, Mark and I filled out the paperwork. He took me to the doctor's office so that the doctor could fill it out. And then So I get to the doctor's office. The doctor that's supposed to sign it is not there. So they took a copy of it, and they would get in touch with me. And they asked me when it was due, and I'm like, it was due yesterday. So I'm kind of like scrambling here. And then after I left there, I went to housing to figure out if I could get, if I could talk to them, let them know what's going on. And the housing office was closed. I did leave them a message explaining the situation and to let them know what was going on, but I am getting the paperwork together and I am sending it in. It was just a misunderstanding on my part of the whole thing. So, and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening right now. And then, like, I think the day before, my staff and I went grocery shopping, and apparently, well, because I'm diabetic, and what happens with diabetics is, I found this out from somebody, is that when you have either high or low sugars, it amplifies your anxiety, panic attack, or whatever. So I'm walking around the store, and then I started feeling dizzy all of a sudden, and then, and then Mark will ask me if I'm okay, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I just want to get through this bit and go home. And he's like, so we did. And so I tell him I need to use, the other thing that happens is, I get to the counter, put all my stuff on the belt, and they scan all of my items through. And the next thing I know, they're telling me, oh, your card's not going through. And I'm like, you're kidding, right? Because I have this amount, I told them I have $257 on the card. I'm only maybe using like half of that. And then, of course, the rest was going on my debit card, because it was non-food items. It was giving me a hard time on passing it through. So instead, I just put in I just said, we're not even going to give them a number. We're just going to put it in, hope for the best, and then it goes through. And then I gave my debit card. I paid off the rest. I go to use the bathroom. And then I'm getting ready to come out. And, of course, you got the bathroom stalls, right? So, for some reason, my brain wasn't acknowledged on how to open the lock. So I was standing there like, okay, how do I open this thing? And then I'm talking to the door, which is kind of funny. And so I unlock the door finally. And I I leave the bathroom, I come out, I'm laughing my butt off. And Marco's looking at me like, what's going on? And I'm just like, take me home. Just take me home. And he's like, what is going on? I was just like, I was locked in the bathroom, couldn't figure out how to unlock the door. I'm talking to the freaking door. I'm just like, take me home. And so he is like, okay, like, so I was explaining to him what was going on, and we had realized that when you have low blood sugar, it amplifies, I can't talk, sorry. It amplifies the panic attack. So when that happens, for a second there, your brain doesn't work, so your brain's like, shut off for a minute, so you're not thinking clearly. So that's kind of what happened to me, basically, is when I was in the bathroom, my brain wasn't acknowledged, open the door, stupid. um, so that kind of is what happened to me that day. And then, of course, I come home, and we were talking to my husband about it, and my husband's been picking on me ever since then. But I don't know, like I was explaining to Mark, I said, I think it has to do with Sharon being gone. I used to have her at the beginning of the month. So I had her Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I had her 3 days a week, but I had her twice at the beginning of the week. So what happened was, when she had done all those things, of course, I had to report it, and they had to let her go, no doubt about it. But since then, like I said, my schedule's been off. Everything has been off. I've been having a hard time with everything as far as concentrating and thinking. Talking's been a little off, definitely. My husband actually thought I was having a stroke because I was talking like nothing made any sense. But I wasn't having one. It was just me having a panic attack without being able to think. Your brain kind of goes bye-bye when you're trying to talk and all that stuff. So, yeah, I've been off all week, and I think it started after Sharon was no longer here. So I'm trying to get back into a normal routine. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and then that way I can figure out like what I can do to be back into something. Like Mark said that he can work Thursdays and Fridays and maybe one weekend for 4 hours to help with some of the hours until they can find a staff for me. So he's planning on arcing. Oh my god, there we go again. I'm sorry. Working some extra hours, like 4 hours on the weekends to kind of help me with some things. And he asked me about it, and I said, yeah, I think that will help a lot if he could do that, and to talk to his bosses about it. Well, at first he wanted to do a Friday, but the only problem with that is he already has a person on Friday so technically we couldn't do a Friday because he's already obligated. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Obligated to somebody else. So technically we wouldn't be able to because that would take time away from that person, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to take hours away from somebody else because I need hours or I need somebody. So we talked it over, and we talked about maybe doing like maybe every other week, or maybe every week, or every other week, depending on my husband, because he likes to have the weekends to himself. So we may do every other week, and then on a weekend. And it also depends on if he has plans with his wife or not. I want to make sure that he doesn't have anything planned before we pick something. I mean, there may be times where he may have plans with his wife that he can't do it, which I'm okay with that, because he does enough for me already. He has been so helpful, and he has been awesome, and I don't want to let this one go because, okay, so the story goes is that at first when they told me about when I was going to have, they're going to have a male staff person for me, I was a little bit against it at first. I'm not going to lie, I was against it at first. But then they told him, I didn't know this, but they told him a little bit about me, a little bit about how I am. So, at first I said no, and then I called them back and said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And so, once I did give it a try, And and I was actually surprised. He first came in. Oh, you're probably gonna hear it on the other videos, but when he first came in, he introduced himself, and then we sat down, and we started talking a little bit to get to know each other, and not even 5 or 10 minutes, I'm sitting here and I'm spilling my life story to him. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? Why am I, so comfortable? Why am I, telling this person my whole life story and I just met him? And then, so we sat here, we talked for a bit, and then, so we talked about doing some housework, and so at first I didn't know what to do that day. I was a little overwhelmed. And he noticed that I was a little overwhelmed. So he was like, okay, well, why don't we work on the table? So we worked on the table a little bit. We took a break. And I can't remember what else we did. I think we worked on the living room. We did section by section of the living room. And then we might have did the kitchen, I don't know. We worked on the bathroom, and it was the same thing. Like, I asked him to help me with my bedroom, and and we did section by section of the bedroom. To kind of, because if I have a whole bunch of things to do at the same time, that is when I tend to get overwhelmed. And I think he notices that. So we sat down. Okay, we did a little bit of cleaning. We sat down. We talked for a bit. And then we started figuring out, okay, so let's do this portion first, and then we're going to do that portion first, and then the next thing I know, my apartment's clean, and so I realized I was doing a lot more with him, and I was just like, wow. Like, who is this person? Does he have a spell on me or something? Because we were doing a lot. And then I called up the company that he works for and said that I would like to keep him on as a staff person. At first, he was just a fill-in staff person, but then I asked him if he could be like one of my regulars. And at first, like, he had to arrange some things to be one of my regulars, and my caseworker could be so high strong because she wanted him to work with me too, and I'm like, back off, give him a little bit of room. I don't want to scare him away, by the time that we have, by the time that I get him, and if he wants to work with me, I don't want to scare him away by someone being so high strung. So, he talked to his wife, he talked to his people, and now I have him as my Thursday, Friday staff person, and we work a good amount of hours. So, I think it's great. And he is good with me in a way. He does help me when I have panic attacks. He does help me work through a lot of stuff. So I am kind of glad that I do have him around. Thankfully, I didn't turn him away. But anyway, I'm going to end this video because this one's getting a little long. And I got a lot of stuff that I still got to do today. Especially that kitchen. That kitchen's a mess. So hit the like and subscribe. And any questions, comments, let me know. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.